something. Like I'm kind of surprised.
All right, perfect time to talk about Dreams then. All right, so I got it's the early edition of Dreams. It's $30, PlayStation exclusive, made by Media Molecule, the people who do Little Big Planet and what was that racing game from back in the day?
Mod
Nation Racers. Yes.
Oh, so good.
So and Tearaway.
Back.
So they're used to creation tools and things like that, but this is really a game engine that allows people to make games and publish them. But not just publish them. Like when you go into a Dream, you can actually you can play it, and then you can pull assets off it if you want to make your own thing. You can remix it, so you basically take the entire game and then you just remix some things and republish it. And anything that the original artist, designer, musician touched shows up in the credits of your game automatically. I did not get into any of the creation tools or anything like that. What I wanted to do with this segment is just do that dream surfing, which essentially is me hitting shuffle on I think they call it the Dreamiverse, and just like they just throw games at me, and it's super quick. Like so, and like when you hit a game, when you pause it, you can give them a thumbs up, a thumbs down. You can go back to the beginning of the game or go to the next game, and like you are in and out of those things literally within a second. Like it like fades out into this bubble thing, and it fades right back in, and you're playing the next game. So it's super quick. So you're constantly being fed games.
That's always good. That's always good.
It's great.
It's just in and out. You're not waiting for a load time every time you switch.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
And like I was kind of alluding to earlier too, like I did this like 2 or 3 hour run where I kept track of everything, but I've jumped back into it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I still haven't even touched a single tutorial or creation tool. I got to a level 6. And I don't know what that means. Yeah. But
level 6 of what?
I don't know. I'm a level 6, but they tell you like
you're a level 6 dreamer.
I'm a level 6, and I think they call me like a player because I'm actually just playing games.
Player or creator, probably.
It's like, but I think there's like just creators, but I think there's musicians, things like that. So like you can rank, like I said, the more you rank up in terms of like a musician, like your stuff becomes more visible. People can contact you more to get your music or level design or character design or whatever it is into their game. Me just as a player, I'm just like a massive play tester, just dicking around more or less. Anyway, dream surfing. I took notes. I kept track of everything. This is like an old school like live blog of doing dream surfing.
We'll just have you live tweet it next time.
Some of these things I'm only in for like seconds at a time too. Like I stopped keeping track of the ones that were made by Media Molecule because I felt those are the most polished ones.
Sure.
And like I want to get more like the user created ones.
Yeah.
Some of these were made, but some of the early ones here were actually designed by Media Molecule. So all right, let's jump in. Very first thing I jump into was called Dark Dungeon, and it was just a video demo of a dungeon, high quality, Dark Souls inspired. That was it. That's when I learned that it's not just games. The very first thing I got. It's gameplay. It is demo concept stuff. It is an art piece where it's just like a 3D picture that you just watch and listen, music, it's videos, it's all kinds of stuff. So like all this stuff is constantly changing and you never know. Again, it's like you hit the next button and God knows what's going to come up.
Okay.
Next one, a game called Hammer Panic. Hammer Panic was actually made by Media Molecule and was super fun. It was supposed to be a multiplayer game. They didn't have AI built into it. So it was basically just me and you have these 2 little hammers that are mechanical. So like you're walking around and they just keep hammering different things, and it's like little Mario Party games. So and it's like you go head to head. One game was just like how much stuff can you break, and you just constantly would be like re-rolling plates and rolling light bulbs, and there'd be nails sticking up and you can walk up to and hammer down and things like that. And whoever did the most won. They had one where they just threw a ball in the middle of it and you try to hammer into the guy's goal. They had one that was really cool. It was kind of like Don't Break the Ice. Like the old game.
Nice.
And like if I were to like hammer one down, it would do the whole row.
Okay.
So like you were trying to like line your guy up with the hammer and do that thing. It was really neat and really well done. And one of the things I did like about this as the Dreams system as well is when you're going into it, you can follow the creation of the game as it goes. So you can go back into it easily because there are thousands of these things out there,
right?
And a lot of them are not great.
Yeah.
So like having like a quick playlist of like here's what people have done, and it is really neat. And I got about 5 or 6 of them I've saved so far. That was one of them.
So you said that one's multiplayer, or
yes.
It's meant to be. So like so is that like Did you experience multiplayer? Is it local? Is it just random people can
Only
jump in,
local.
whatever?
As
Okay,
as
only
far as I
local.
know, it's only local.
Okay.
And like there's a lot of it that actually gave me the option to have AI on or off. I'll get into some of those later. This one didn't have any options. It was just like I was basically just playing against no one.
Right.
But it was I can imagine that game being super fun playing like that.
Okay.
So the next one was a game called Ramp 3D. You would just jump onto a skateboard and then you would just let it this long, windy, super long ramp. That's all it was.
Okay.
Next one was a game called Curiosity. Curiosity was a walking sim, super early on. You were playing as a robot that looked a lot like Pathfinder from Apex Legends. I don't know if you guys know that, but it was like a robot, and you're just walking through from A to B on this one. But it was very gray but large. Like the space that you walked around with was very, very big. Walking around was a little janky, but again, I mean, it's what it is. But it was more like a tech demo of like this is like a proof of concept of what we want to do in the future.
Yeah.
And like most of these games actually do have a note either before or after saying like this is step one of our project. This is just tech demos. This is just proof of concept. Like there's a lot of different variations of it. This one looked cool, but there wasn't much to it. Next one was a game called Prometheus. It was a first-person shooter. The number one, and this is where I had my first big complaint with Dreams, is when you hit the pause menu, there's no like control scheme. So like, so the people who create the game have to like either put like a lot of times you just use a touchpad as you press the touchpad in, and you would get like the controls would pop up. A lot of times you would just like show it to you at the beginning of the game, and once you start moving, it would go away, and there's no way to get it back. So like there's like again that could be game design type stuff or like and trial and error and trying things out, and that could be part of the feedback that they're getting to fix that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think like when you hit the pause menu, it's the Dreams pause menu. It's not the pause menu for that specific game, so you're not really getting much. Like even if I like inverting controls, even if I put invert controls as my default on Dreams, some games don't support it.
Got it.
So
those are my kind of games.
I would say no game you supported.
Mutants. But Prometheus was like it was a super rough first-person shooter.
Yeah.
It was one of the ones that they had highlighted. I feel like this might have been one of the earlier ones, but it was fine. Book of the Dragon. This one was cool too, but super short. It was just a wheel puzzle on the front of a book to unlock the book. So you had to like move. There's 3 different rings. You had to move them all to line up to make a picture. Book opens. Like, that was really, and it was super pretty. Like it was very polished. Like it looked great. And they opened a book, and it gave you the first couple pictures of like the dragon story, and then like that was the end of the demo. Fuck, I was hoping like it would open up to something new, and then open up to keep going into more and more puzzles as it went along. But I came across another one of that guy's games.
Jesus, man,
3 hours. I came across another one of that guy's games, and he said like he's going to take that book and this other game and put it together in something much longer later.
Oh, very cool.
The next game I played was a game called Working Portal Gun. And I wrote here, kinda. It was just like a checkerboard room with some like angled walls on there that you could do the portal stuff on there. But the portal was just like a green dot and a blue dot. It wasn't like you couldn't see through it to the next one like the normal one was. And it worked like 90% of the time, which is super impressive because I can't even imagine like what goes into that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that. Next one was Kokiri Forest, which is the Ocarina of Time opening level. Someone recreated it.
Okay.
They made not original music, but they remade the music from there, and you could walk around in the environments. This is the point where I realized that the games that work best in this format are games that don't include human beings, because they just walk funky, and it's like all the humans walk the same.
Yeah.
And there is a little bit, not really motion control, but like there's a cursor on the screen called your imp, and that's how you like highlight things. That's how you move around, but you do it with the motion control of the controller. And when you're playing as a human being, like every single time I'm like moving around, I can see my guy's head like bobbing and weaving, just like Sackboy.
Okay, right, yeah.
I don't know if there is any protocol to have like a human character that doesn't do that, because in all the games I played that involved a third-person human, that was there. And it was pretty much funky for all of them.
That's annoying.
It was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But Link was just like, He was definitely
Possessed.
He was totally lonk in this one. Like he was, it was just like,
we got another nut.
and his arms and his legs are just all nothing. Nothing looked right. I think this is when I stopped doing the media molecule games. Oh, there's two of them. So there's Vector Majoris, which was a space flight fighter pilot game that were just taking out 5 or 6 enemies in this, and they had just like in the previous media molecule games, you can find little orbs that have like assets in them. So like as I'm playing through these games, like I can find orbs, and those assets would be in my catalog, and I can use them in games I want to use too. So that's like that's like the meta game that having it in dreams is like these collectibles. It looked good. It played great, but again, it's made by Media Molecule. They've had this tool for 6 years.
Right.
Next one was Starry Night. So you wake up in a room. This first person. You walk over to the window in the room, and there's some absinthe on there. You drink it, and then you look out the window, and the environment turns into Starry Night, the painting.
Okay.
Looked really cool,
Nice.
But that was it. Like and that was literally all of it. Fear.
So really quick, when you're jumping in these different games, so when you finish a game, does it give you does like an option come up saying like go on to the next stream, or does it just kick you straight in? It just like it ends and then
There's sometimes when I walk through a door and they say I'm in a new dream.
Okay.
Actually, like the level ended or like the demo, whatever it is, and just like boom,
okay,
right
so
the next one.
But that little thing always happens, so you at least know you're now in a new game.
Yeah,
technically.
that's like the loading screen. So even in games that have like loading screens in it, it's the same bubbly it's a bubble like load screen, and it goes back into it.
Okay.
So when you do that, when you hit the end of a game and it just puts you in the next one,
Yeah.
is there a way to go back and like vote on the thing? Okay.
Yeah, you can always go back or forward, and you can like go multiple back and multiple forward. Yeah, for sure. And then again, I mean, there's not really like the thumbs up, thumbs down is pretty much the only rating system I see on there so far, and you can put comments and things like that. But yeah, I try to do that as much as possible. The next one, the last media molecule one I put on here was Fear of Vium. I don't know. It was a side-scrolling spaceship shooter, like Ikaruga type of thing, but sideways. That was actually really well done because it was like you had a super fast ship and you were moving all over the place, and they were individual. It looked like space station pods that were each individual ones that had guns on top of it. Once you knocked out all the guns, that space pod would actually fall away, and you can actually see it fall like all the way into the planet that was like in the distance. So like when you die and you go back to the beginning, you see all the ones you've taken over time. But again, made by Media Molecule. The next one is Paddle Extreme Ultra DX Final Mix. Pong.
Love the name.
It was Pong. But it was you can play with 2-player or AI, and it actually, I mean, it worked great. Nice. It was Pong. They had 8 different filters on it, but you can actually look at it would do like the old like green paddles if you wanted to do that. It made it look like it was like a tube TV too. So like there was a bunch of different was a bunch of different filters you can put over it, and the music was really cool in this one too. So even though it was just Pong, like they focus on other areas.
It was Pong with music.
Yeah. With music and like different. Yeah, it was really well done.
That's awesome.
And very like neon. If you can tell it by the name, it was just like it was constantly.
Yeah.
Next one was Solid Gears Are Metal. It was Metal Gear Solid VR missions with really dumb soldiers. Is what I put on here. It was again. It was a human problem again, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like. I could lay down, I could sneak, and it was so weird. And the enemies would only see you. They had like a cone, like a light cone that was in front of them, and they would I would be here, and like the cone would be here, and you wouldn't see me. Like it was a thing. But that was one of the games too, where like I got to the end of the level and it was just like into the next stream. I'm like, I thought I was going to the next level, but apparently not. The Encounter was the next one. This one was super polished. This one looked really, really good. There wasn't much to it. It was another walking sim. But you were in a space station with a kind of like a little robot drone thing talking to you, but it was all text. And like it was just getting to the point. It's like we gotta go. So I'm running through these different environments. You can kind of start seeing something was going wrong, and then that was the end of the demo. So like again, it seems also that the really, really high polished stuff, the realistic stuff, doesn't have much going on. Like I saw one that was like the super realistic first person shooter, and it looked great. Like you were on a rainy street, the gun was like looked really good, but you couldn't shoot it. There's nothing for me to do.
So it was really a first person pointer.
Yeah, and it was a walking sim when I was holding a gun though. And it was really well done, but like there wasn't much there. It's my last page.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Nope, I went backwards. How does this thing work?
Oh god.
There we go. Next one. This one was super fun. I actually played it twice, and then went back into it when I was playing again later on. It's called Battle Tops. 4-person. It's just like those. It's tops with blades on them, and you're just trying to get the other tops out of the level. And the level vary. Like there's like you're on a like a hot air balloon, so you're trying to like basically knock them off of the hot air balloon. The other ones where like things are falling, so you got like not only like avoid the end of the level, but things falling on you. The way you move is you gotta hit the X button over again to keep spinning. You stop doing that, you'll slow down. If you tip over two, you die.
I was gonna say, do you actually control anything, or is it just like you spin your top and there it goes?
yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's a game I played in like extended care after grade school.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, you do control them and just 3 other tops on there, and so you're basically just trying to first 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins, like however you set it up. But it was pretty. It was fun. It was intuitive. Like it worked. It worked great. It had a start menu. It had like it was one of those things. Like some of those things, like some of you just jump into the game, you're going. Some of them actually had a start menu and different things.
Cool.
The next one. Oi, what you looking at? It's a drunk fighting simulator.
Oh, fantastic.
And it works. That was the best use of humans I've seen. Because you're already just like all over the place.
Fantastic.
And I don't think I hit my guy once. It was this AI who was just pummeling me to death.
That game had a VR option.
No.
Isn't there a VR game called like Bar Fighting or something? Bar Fight Simulator or something?
Yeah, there is.
The next one I played, someone recreated 60 to 70% of PlayStation Home.
Oh my god, no.
Yes.
Oh
and as someone who
my
spent
God.
far too much time in PlayStation Home, both the early where it was just like a room where you couldn't do anything, and the later when you actually can do stuff.
Jesus.
It was the later one you could actually do stuff, where they had like the seaside apartment, and you could actually interact with stuff. You can actually move pieces of furniture around. Mm-hmm. Then you would go out into the main square. You could go into the bowling alley. They had bowling there that worked. Kind of like you would. There was no score.
That was
and
the best part of PlayStation.
Yeah.
The bowling.
But it was like you go into the bowling alley, there'd be no billiards, there'd be no arcade games. It was just that. It was the architecture of it was really well done and really captured like the vibe of the place. But
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was neat. It was totally neat. Next one. This was the second best game I played. 2D Jack. It was a Super Mario like game, but with the level.
This is a new genre, Mario like.
Yes.
Yeah. It played just like Super Mario, but it had the level design of like a Sonic game where you can go ahead with multiple different levels, you can go through,
cool,
and it had like hidden stuff, and
nice.
It felt like a lot like that. It had 3 or 4 levels, totally playable. You can collect 100 coins, and when you collect 100 coins, the whole idea was there were the hidden coins, and then they had the hidden orbs, like a lot of the games do. Yeah. And the idea is just getting to the end of the level with as many of those things as possible, and he would like grade you on it. It played real fun. It handled great. It gave like the multiple options. Really had some real challenge to it, but it felt like legit platforming. Like I said, it felt like a Mario game. It was, again, even though you're on a 2D plane, it was a 3D character. It was like it was like they used like cubes to build him, so it looked like 8-bit but 3D.
Yeah.
It was very well done, and that was the second best game I played by a large margin. I played all the way to the end of it. I spent a good half hour on this game alone, just getting to the end of it. So yeah, I totally enjoyed that one. Followed up by Toilet Sim, where you sit in a toilet and fart and pee, and that's it.
Game of the year.
Then this was the.
Did you find it to be an accurate simulation?
No, I said the same weird human being part of it, and I was sitting down to pee.
Fair
enough.
The next one was Demon's
Penance. Is the character male or female?
No one knows. It was
dangly parts.
It was. I could never mind. Demon's Penance teaser was just like a artist rendition of something that might be a game later on. I don't know. Next one was Dogs Run. It was a 3D platformer where you play as a dog.
Okay.
And you run.
And you collect coins, and you get to the end of the level, and you're trying to find each level. You're trying to hunt down where your bone is, and the bone's always like it's like in a hidden area in this level. And there was like 5 different worlds in this game.
Oh wow!
There was a ton to it.
Right off the bat, you lost me. The collecting coins. Come on, like. Change the color and make them tennis balls. Make it brown. It's a piece of kibble.
That would have been good.
Yeah, there's a lot of coin collecting in these games. I've noticed. And all right, last but not least, it was the best game I played. I played this game for over an hour.
Jeez. And
got all the way through it.
Urinal Simulator.
It's called the delightfully named Marvelous. Marvelous. Again, I jump into it and it gives me the Green Hill Zone like level design and like the graphic at the very beginning. I was like, oh god, it's a Sonic game. And I played a Sonic game later. And I was like, it was bad.
Yeah.
This one, it has like it's like a furry blue ball, so it looks like Sonic, but it plays more like Marble Madness, where I'm controlling the marble moving it around.
Okay. Yeah.
This game was so well designed. There were power ups that you would gain in each one of the levels. There was 4 different levels. The very first power you get is like to illuminate, and once you illuminate, when you're in the second level, if you illuminate in certain spots, you actually get like a black light, and so you actually know where like some of the hidden treasures are. Because there's treasure chests in there, and actually some of you like which way you go. In the later levels, it actually tells you how to solve a puzzle. Another power is they have the double jump, and then they have another power which makes you heavy. So like to begin with, it's just like you have the ability to push buttons down because you're heavy enough to actually press the button that you're rolling on. But I was like, I wonder if I can go to water and see what happens. I go into water and boop, get to the bottom of it. Like I got heavy and I found all kinds of coins and secret stuff and all kinds of stuff. But the game played great. Like it had the best level design out of anything I've played. Because with that puzzle mechanics, like you really need to get like the player gets to A because they need to get to B to get to C, and each level gets more and more complex. But they don't really they really make you use all those powers, and when you get to the last level to get through it, like you really need to really think about what you're doing in order and what all your powers are in each individual piece of the level. In a game where you're like a marble jumping around to you, you would figure it'd be frustrating. And yeah, I fell off the world a few times, but like there are plenty of save spots, and every single time I would get to a tough spot, I always feel like I was right back to a save. So I never was discouraged. Be like, oh, fuck this, I'm done with this game.
Yeah.
It had so many. It felt like. It really felt like someone who has made games in the past and really trial and errored like this somewhere else. But the whole game had a whole Sonic vibe. Like even like the save points were like the pole with the red ball on top of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it really made you it really made you look into the nooks and crannies of each single level to get to more coins, and you would open up the treasure chest to get like more of those orbs. So I have access to a lot of it because I played a ton of the game. But man, I wish it had if it had 15 more levels on it, that could be on the Switch immediately and be for like $5-10, and I would not have a single issue buying this game. It was so much fun. It was definitely the best use of it. But again, no human beings, things like that. So it's like that's really where I was at with that. So that was my 3 hours. Now, as I said, I've jumped in like 3 or 4 more times. I've played 4 different Super Mario 64 clones that are just bad. I've played a Spider-Man game. I've played I played a PT, which was pretty good, but I just played actual PT.
Right.
So. But I'm really impressed by the overall variety of things you can do. I'm impressed by what people have done so far, and I just think I think if a lot of these people just put like more rounded edges on like the actual game itself, where you have like a start menu and things like that, I think that a lot of these experiences would greatly increase in terms of just overall quality. But again, I don't know if someone just got the game. I don't know. I don't know the full history of these games. Go ahead.
Dreams is still in beta or
early access is what it's called. Beta. Yeah, it's $30 right now for early access. When
paid beta.
When the full game comes out, you get the full game, no extra charge or anything like that. So they're just going to be putting a story mode into it.
Have they put a release window of any kind in this game?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing.
This game has been talked about since like the PS4 launch.
Yeah. It was like the first thing they showed.
It's going to be a PS5
game. It was one of the So what would you say would be like? What would be like kind of like the ratio of good to bad that you kind of play throughout this. Because I mean, this concept is really neat.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about it, it's like, oh, it's kind of cool flying through. It's like, all right, if something sucks, that's okay. At least you go fly through and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm thinking, how much of it is this also like kind of a waste of time though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't want to sound in the bad.
Yeah,
no. Because like you were saying, like, oh, that was like, just so how do you feel like the ratio kind of was?
I feel that now that I kind of know what I'm doing too, I know to I don't know if I know what to expect. If my like overall like opinion has changed on the whole thing in terms of like I guess my standards have lowered a little bit too.
Okay,
but overall, I think that is probably like 30-70, like 30 like this was totally worth my time, and 70 like whatever.
Got it.
But I also kind of know that in the first couple minutes of me playing it. I mean, games that I didn't put on this that I've really enjoyed and saved. Like there was someone made a Rock Band clone, and it's more like Amplitude and because it's buttons, cool, which is really really good. There's something else I really played. Oh, there was one that was like it was a 3/4 up view puzzle game. It had the best moving humanoid thing I've seen so far, where it didn't have the wonkiness, but like I feel like that everything from waist up just didn't move. It was just the legs. I don't know if that's a fix for it. That one was like a multi-tiered puzzle game. You're trying to get A to B, you know, and anybody had to like move this box to here, activate this, throw the thing there. Yeah. It was one of those type of things. So I feel like, but a lot of stuff I was just like meh about too. It was just like, this is just an art piece, or this is just a demo. This is, you know what I mean? So it's just like, in terms of like games that are like, I mean, I don't know how many games I would consider finished on this either.
Well, and you also said like within the first like couple of minutes of playing, sometimes you already know like, all right, this could be garbage. Like, can you jump ahead?
Oh yeah.
So you don't have to finish. You can jump ahead.
You hit pause and you just skip forward right away. Okay. So you don't need to get to the end of all these things.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Is the only option at this point to do the dream surfing, or is there like a most thumbs up list that you can go to?
They have the dream surfing. They have like a curated list of like these are our most talked about. Either these are picked by Media Molecule, or these are like the most upvoted in our community, whatever it is. They have a monthly contests, and those winners get highlighted for like, and it's like a theme. It'd be like fireworks. Sure. It'll be whatever. It'd be something very simple. And then they highlight the top whatever games are in that list, games or art pieces or whatever it is in that list. And those are voted on by the community and Media Molecule. So if you want like something a little more curated and you want to like just look for something, you can also just search for stuff. Okay. Like you can just hit a search thing in there and it'll come up with something. So there's a lot of options on there, but this is just like this is video game slot machine. You know what I mean? Sure. Like when it's good, I don't know if I get just more brain juices because I got a good one, and I didn't anticipate getting a good one, and I got a good
jackpot.
One. Yeah, exactly. So like, I don't know. They have something to do with it too, but like there are a lot to it outside of just the just a dream surfing. And like I said, I haven't even scratched I haven't touched the tutorials or the creation or anything like that yet.
And that's kind of what I'm curious about too, is the creation, because it's like it's one of those things where sometimes those things are just so intimidating. Like, you know, like Little Big Planet, that got intimidating.
It's
like,
a lot.
As basic as that is, that was intimidating. Like, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, did you guys see the thing on Twitter, the guy that recreated a DualShock controller in Dreams? It looks photorealistic. Like, it's ridiculous. Like,
it's nuts.
I can't imagine, like, what that took to do that.
Yeah, and like I said, like, the photorealistic stuff looked really good. Like, there's another one, it was just a lot of the realistic ones are just, like, it'll allow you to either like free roam through it, or like they'll have set cameras to like really zoom in on stuff. And I had one, it was like a subway station, and they really highlighted like the lighting effects, and the lighting effects are reflecting off of like puddles in the ground and like cracks in the ground. It was just like, whoa, like this looks really good.
Right, yeah.
So like, but again, it doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
So like, but we're also talking about 2 months. And, you know, we know how long games take to make.
Yeah.
So like the simple stuff, like I had another one today. It was just like I played way too much of this game today, where it was just like, remember the old Madden training where it was just like, you know, up, down, left, right, A, B, whatever it was. Like, you know, it was like it would just give you a list of
what was it called? It was Coach something.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I don't know, you look it up. Yeah. But it was it would just give you like a list of prompts, and it would tell you like, you know, it give you your accuracy rate, and it would give you how many buttons you are pushing per second. And it's just like, I gotta get below 2. You know,
right.
It's just like dumb stuff like that, stuff that you would never ever buy, But I mean, it was totally fun to play for the 5-10 minutes I played it.
Right.
So like, I guess no, we talk about value propositions a lot on this show. So we talk about $30. Like,
how do you feel about that?
I feel fine about it, honestly. And I feel like it's only going to get better from here when people get more time with it and people polish the things. Because, again, like the projects I really enjoy, I'm following now. So, like, when they add new things or if they do or don't add new things. Coach Rogers. 100%. So, like, when they add new things, like, I'll know that they added new things. I can go back into it, experience the new stuff, and whatever it is. So, like, it's kind of, it is a completely unique experience in gaming. Like I can't think of anything like anything else where it's just like you are in the middle of the world's biggest game jam that's just constantly happening. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's totally worth $30.
And you said when the full release comes out, you get the full release for that $30, right? Okay, and then I was gonna say, and right now it is available to anyone, right? As well.
Yeah, they were talking about some kind of like limited. There was like a weird thing for a while.
Yeah. No. Okay.
I bet if you went and tried to buy it right now, I bet they'd let you.
Okay.
They would gladly take your $30.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I was just curious about that because I remember them talking about that, and I was like, oh, I wonder how that kind of works now.
But like I said, this is my last. I'm done talking about dreams for right now. But like my last point is, something I feel like I've been missing is like that quick in and out type of game. So like if I'm just like either I got 20 minutes, like I can.
Yeah.
Play one thing, I could play 4 things. I could play, skip through 7 things. I don't know. So like it's kind of nice. Just kind of throw it on. You're right in it real quick, and then you play a couple things. And if you like it, save it and play a little, get more in depth with it later, and go from there. So there's a lot to it. Like I said, it's a completely. I don't know where it's gonna go from here. Like it's just that's kind of the exciting part of it too. And like you never know what's gonna pop up, and you never know what the theme's gonna be, and God knows what Media Molecule's story mode on this thing's gonna be.
And that's the thing that intrigues me right now because like everything that I am playing currently is not that drop in. Like it's like no, I gotta if I don't have an hour to play, like what's the point of like jumping in like right now? So like it's kind of I've been thinking about that lately. I'm like God, I miss having something like that. So it's definitely intriguing in terms of that.
Yeah. So what else you got?
Is it possible all the wonky human stuff is just a long con to get gang beasts into everything?
Oh God, I hope so.
Oh my God,
it'd be so much fun.
Jesus. It's Game Piece. Is there a version of that in
I'm
Dreams?
sure there is. I'll search it. Honestly, I think it'd be a fun thing to do. Like,
I need a VR version of that in Dreams. That's what I need.
Just by your head.
Yeah.
Wild all over the place.
There's been a sudden uptick in neck injuries among VR users.
It's fine. I'm okay with it.
That'd be a fun thing to do too. Just like search stuff and just see what comes up. Like God knows, like how many Metal Gear Solids clones. And there was one I came up with earlier today.
Search for Overblood.
Ooh man, I had a really bad Resident Evil one, but it had like the PlayStation like opening, like when you like turn it had that awesome. Like it was really cool, awesome. And the game started. I'm like, this is really bad.
Oh, you put all your time.
You started off good. Yeah. That was a great start, but we gotta work on that.
And now someone else can make a game and just rip that intro part.
I've seen that intro part like 2 or 3 different times. So I think that guy ripped it from somebody else.
Right. Oh, probably yeah.
But you get credits for it. All right, that's all I got to talk about Dreams. But I check it out. I think it's a neat experiment, and it has the potential to be something much bigger than it is right now, and as fine as it is right now. So I think it's $30 well spent.